We are live. What's going on, y'all? Some of you, hopefully, you guys can hear me. Hopefully, my sound and everything is okay. If it's not, please let me know. If you can hear me, just click a little one in the chat. I'm going to send everybody a link to where you can watch me do this live stream. So, we are streaming live for UFC 293. Uh, uh, Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. Um, I gotta figure out where I get my link so that you guys can watch this stream. I know that folks aren't on right now, but once they do start kind of coming on, you'll be able to watch me live for this stream. Um, got a couple links for folks who are trying to watch Unhinged. That's all I will say for that. Um, If you are a subscriber to my YouTube, you are getting a message for this. If you are not, please like and subscribe to my YouTube page, S.Bell MMA, SDOTBLL MMA, and you can catch this live stream going on over there as well. I will be posting the link uh, everywhere for those who want to watch. If you don't want to listen to uh, Daniel Cormier, John Anik, and the stream there, because sometimes there is a little bit of bias that goes with it. I will be streaming my link here. Again, this is S.Bell MMA. Fight companion for UFC 293. Some of y'all see me. I look hot. I'm sweating in here. I'm in my kitchen. It's hot over here. I am sweating. Doesn't matter. I'm here to bring you guys the best in terms of MMA content. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Sadani. I spent the last 10 years of my life living in China, and I recently came back to the US where I am right now. I am a professional mixed martial artist. And I am also I'm among other things, but what the thing I am most proud of is being a mixed martial artist, because I spent my time in China learning MMA, learning Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, learning kickboxing, learning boxing, and that's how I share my art with the world. So if you guys are interested in listening to my commentary for the fights, I'm sending you the stream to anybody who's interested on Instagram and Facebook. If you're not, that's okay too. I will be sharing ways you can help support the channel and all that good stuff. Right. So UFC 293, the main card is kicking off. So I'll be watching the fights. I will not be showing the fights. So if you are already watching the fights, this is a great way to hear kind of alternative commentary. So I'm sharing it with anybody, any and everybody who's interested in listening and watching it. If you're not, that's okay too. Right. The fights are about to kick off for the main card. Hopefully everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, just type a 1 in the chats. I am full force. I watch the fights the same way anybody else would, with a drink in my hand and having a good time. I'm also smoking a little hookah. If you are watching the stream, welcome. If it's me by myself, I'm talking to me, and I'm okay with that too. So anybody watching this live stream, S. Belt MMA, that's who I am. That's my logo. Here's a jersey. It's one of one. We'll have more of those later on for those that are enjoying the look of that and they want to support and buy it. I'll definitely have more of those for folks. But for now, we are streaming live. We are streaming live from YouTube. We will be streaming live from other platforms later on. But for anybody who's interested in watching right now, I am streaming live for UFC 293 in Australia. It's 10 p.m. 10:14 here in the U.S. on the East Coast, which is something like 2:45 over in Australia. They have a 14-hour time difference, but we are streaming live for anybody who's out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to be sharing this live stream with you guys. I haven't done a live stream like this in a while. I've done a couple. I did some for a couple PFL and UFC fights back in the day, as well as like Floyd Mayweather boxing matches and stuff like that. But we are streaming live right now. UFC 293, Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. I'm waiting for folks to get in the chat, start enjoying and sharing with me. We've got some really good fights coming up right now. Let me get the full fight card. The prelims. Sorry, not the prelims, but the first fight of the main card, Tyson Pedro versus Anton Turkal. I do not know this man's name, and I have to figure it out, and that's okay. Let's figure out. Right. I will not be posting where the fight is streaming. If you are currently watching, this is the way to watch. I have my commentary, all that good stuff. That's what I'm here for. You out of here, sis? Yeah. All right, be safe. Love you. So we are streaming live UFC 293. Again, Tyson Pedro versus Anton Turkal. Names like this always make me struggle a little bit. I'm not gonna front with y'all. I completely accept that I cannot pronounce this man's name. Strong smoke right there. Anton Turkali, that's how you say it. So Anton Turkali versus Tyson Pedro. I have Pedro. See you later, sis. I have Pedro winning this one. This is going to be a good fight. Tyson Pedro likes to engage. He likes to get crazy. It's going to be fun to watch. So I know that the UFC commentary is not always straightforward. They can be a little biased sometimes, which is why I'm offering an alternative for a fight companion. Um, it's fine, you know, like it's their job to call it like they see it, and it's my job to do the same thing. So I call it a fight companion because I'm going to see the fight a different way than the commentators are going to see the fight. And that's my plan is to share with you guys how I see it from my perspective. I have fought mixed martial arts for those of you that know me. I have done MMA. I've done Brazilian. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. I have done boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, judo. I have experience with all of that. Again, S dot belt MMA. It's your boy right here. I know you guys see the gut right now. I have an Achilles tear. I'm not making excuses, but I can tell you right now, as much as I want to train all the time, my Achilles definitely slows me down. Well, we are here watching UFC 293. So if you're tuning in right now, welcome to any and everybody who is tuning in right now. I am here, comfy, chilling with the fight, giving my somewhat expert opinion about what's going on. So welcome. I've got water, I've got a little bit of liquor, I've got some hookah, so I'm ready for the fights. So Tyson Pedro finished all 9 of his wins, 4 knockouts, 5 submissions, one of 4 UFC lightweights with a finish by body kick. And so a lot of people don't realize how much of an accomplishment that is. To kick someone so hard in the body that they don't want to continue a fight is a skill all in itself. Body kicks, you can hurt somebody with a liver kick, but to hit them so hard that they don't want to continue is something completely different. And I like what Tyson Pedro did, which is he's wearing the black and white shorts, but they look like championship shorts. So he's got that I want to be a UFC light heavyweight champion with his energy. So they both weighed in at 205.5. Pedro was 6'3". Chakali is 6'4". 31 for 8 years of age for Pedro and 27 for Chakali. And their reach is really 79 and 78 inches respectively. So Bruce Buffer is making his announcement right now. Let's see if I can get away with letting y'all hear that. I will not be sharing the stream for folks who want to watch. I'm sorry for that. Can't because of fair use issues. Anton Turgali is up. So for those of you that are abroad, maybe you don't think in pounds. 205.5 is about 92.2.3 kilograms. Um, just for reference, people look at me. I'm a big guy right now. I'm very heavy, out of shape. I'm 268 pounds, which is about 122 kilograms. So I'm up there in weight. So fight's about to kick off. Tyson Pedro versus Turkali. This is going to be a fun one to watch. Turkali's using those front teeps to kind of set his range, which is good, but Pedro is very patient. Those front teeps and leg kicks are definitely something you use to set up your range. But again, Pedro decided to wear those shorts where it's like, I'm going to be a future champion because, again, it's black and it looks like gold, but it's black and yellow, maybe a deeper yellow in his shorts. And they are looking game. Both throwing leg kicks, which is important. Definitely helps set the stage for the fight. But Pedro looks confident. He's from City Kickboxing. For those of you who don't know what City Kickboxing is, it's Israel Adesanya. Some of the other guys that were on the prelims are also from City Kickboxing. Pedro, who's definitely tatted up. He's got cool looking tattoos. A lot of these Polynesian guys from Australia, New Zealand, have a lot of these tats, and they have significance that pertains to their culture as well. Turkali is definitely focused on using those leg kicks and teeps to set up, and that clinch is definitely something you can use because those City Kickboxing guys are definitely focused on striking. They're not as focused on using their grappling. Oh, that was a mean shot. It looks like Pedro's in position to finish him with those shots. He's got very, very heavy hands, which is something you see a lot of from these, Polynesian guys. Look, he dropped him. Up, finish. It's over. Tyson Pedro with the finish. Heavy, 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 heavy hands. And I love the kind of sword celebration finish that he had, as if he's putting away his weapon. Finished them in the first round. Again, when you got hands of stone, which a lot of these Polynesian guys do, they finish very, very quickly. And there you have it. We got a finish on the very, very first fight of the main card. So it's exciting stuff. I love it. It's awesome. So if you are watching the stream, please comment, share with us. Doesn't matter how many of you are on here. It's good to know who's on the stream with us. I love sharing that because I want to know who's on the stream, and I want to know what your thoughts are on the fights, what your opinions are. It's a conversation because, again, I have my level of expertise and what I know from MMA, but I love to hear you guys' input as well. Again, I will not be sharing any streams. I don't want to cause any issues when it comes to fair use and things like that. I will kind of put on some of the fight audio as well sometimes. he had so much power in his hands, his kicks. You could see again, he's a light heavyweight with 205 pounds, but he hits with a level of power that looks like a heavyweight. You can see that with every shot, it felt heavy to Kali, which is why he got dropped and finished with that last shot at the bottom. And even that shot that came after didn't really matter. He didn't really need it. He didn't need it at all. Tyson Pedro with the dub, man, for sure. Exciting stuff. All right. So for anybody who's checking out, for anybody who's watching the stream and you want to support, what the best way to support is via Cash App S.Belt MMA. Anything helps. If you don't want to send anything, that's okay too. But I'm just happy having you all on the stream. S.Belt MMA on Cash App is the best way to support. I'll also share how you can support via PayPal. Right. So we got a knockout in the first fight. So I think that's setting the pace for the card. For those of you who have been watching since the prelims, you understand that there are a lot of things in terms of finishes that are going on. There have been a bunch of finishes on the prelims, and again, the main card starts with the finish as well. So this card is definitely setting the pace. It looks good. It's a lot of fun to watch, right? When we watch MMA, we love to see these finishes. So we got Justin Tafa versus Austin Lane coming up for the next card. I think Tafa is going to finish this one. This is a heavyweight bout, 265 pounds. Currently, at the weight I'm at, I do not make the heavyweight limit. I am over heavyweight, so I'd have to cut weight to make heavyweight right now, just to give you guys a little bit of perspective. If you guys have seen me recently, or if you look at my size, my arms, I'm a dense guy though, so when it comes to me, it's not always I don't give a good perspective of what a heavyweight looks like because I'm big as fuck. So it looks like this is a rematch from a no contest where we're figuring out what's really going to happen in this fight. And these type of fights are always good because the fighter who was winning but ended up not winning had something to prove. So we got a no contest that is essentially a rematch. So let's find out what it's going to look like. I'm choosing Justin Tapa for this one. When you have these Polynesian, not even Southeast Asian, yeah, Southeast, Southeast Asians, as well as Australians and New Zealanders that are coming to these fights. These guys have a lot of power, which is why. And when you think about this, these are guys from Australia, guys from New Zealand, guys from Hawaii, where they have a lot of power, they have a lot of athleticism, and when it comes to bouts and fights like this, these guys come with the thunder. So you see a lot of knockouts. For those of you who are trying to gain some perspective, if you know MMA or UFC, you think of a guy like Mark Hunt again, guy who is Polynesian or comes from this region. So let's hear kind of some of the commentators' perspective right now. So we got somebody who played in the NFL who is now transitioned into MMA. If you want another example of that, you think of Greg Hardy, who was in the UFC. He's not in the UFC anymore. He got knocked out of it, both figuratively and literally. Got knocked out enough times to sit his ass down and take his ass home. And again, right, we just watched the last fight, which was a light heavyweight bout. So we had guys that were 205 pounds. Now we have guys who fall under that 265-pound weight limit. So these are guys that are anywhere from 206 to 265 pounds. Usually, these will be guys that are anywhere from 220 to 265 pounds. On the fight day, they're likely going to be heavier because, especially if they had to cut. So if you had someone who had to cut to 265, in all likeliness, on fight night, they are 270, 275, 280 in that range. So that is 125. Then we're up to 130 kilograms for those of you that think in terms of that measurement. I have people that are watching from China. I have people that are watching from the UK. I have people that are watching in Australia. I have people that are watching in the United States. Again, if you want a different perspective than the simple perspective of the UFC commentators, not to say that they don't know what they're talking about, but they don't always see certain perspectives and they miss things sometimes. So UFC commentators will miss stuff sometimes because of the angle that they are watching. And because of that, they don't always give you the best perspective. So for anybody who doesn't know, I'm doing my own commentary on the UFC. I'm doing UFC 293 commentary from my perspective as an MMA fighter, as somebody who's got experience with MMA. So if you want somebody who has a kind of a different perspective that isn't Daniel Cormier, that isn't John Anik, it's your boy S. Bell MMA. For those of you that don't know, check the jersey. That's me. I'm here, based in New Jersey right now, watching the fights, giving my own perspective for those of you that are watching. If you love MMA, this is the place to be right now. That's the best thing I could say. Thank you to everybody who's watching the stream right now. If you want to support, I'll share some different ways to support the stream. So we got Justin Tafa versus Austin Lane. 6 foot versus 6'6", 265 versus 242. 74-inch reach for Tafa versus 80-inch reach for Austin Lane. Just for perspective, Israel Adesanya also has a reach that's, I think, something like 79 or 80 inches, which we'll see later on tonight. So Bruce Buffer's on. Let's get ready for the next bout. For anybody who doesn't know, Austin Lane used to play in the NFL, apparently. Just for some perspective, again, he's 265 pounds, 122 kg, I believe. But he's more than likely right now probably like 125. He had to cut down to 265 that he was making the limit. This one's going to be, again, a fight that's going to be a barn burner. We're likely going to see a knockout. It's a lot of the time what you see with heavyweights. It's going to be a good fight to watch. So Austin Lane, Justin Tafa, I think this is going to be a good one. I don't think this fight is going to last for the full 3 rounds. Justin Tafa, he looks very tentative, and he looks like somebody who's not a straight MMA fighter. Tafa looks very comfortable in there. But Lane's got strong kicks. That kick looked like it definitely hit him in the groin, which is why they stopped it just now. And it's going to happen sometimes, especially when you got a guy that tall trying to kick to the stomach. But it was a very low kick, especially if somebody closes the distance. That's what's going to happen. Tafa looks like he's okay. He's going to just jump back in. He's catching his breath. And even in the beginning of the fight, maybe you have nerves. This is a good opportunity for you to just catch your breath and kind of calm yourself down. So that groin kick kind of helps in that situation. So now Tafa has the opportunity to jump back in. And then you see Lane using those front kicks and those low kicks. He's got super long legs, so that's what you want to do in that situation. But you see how Tafa, when he closes the distance, he's very confident in how he throws his strikes. So it's more of a quality over quantity situation when he's throwing these strikes. And Lane, again, he's super tall, 6'6", but I think once Tafa actually starts to land, it's not going to be much of a fight. And again, this is just the prediction. You see, he has the confidence to throw strikes where, again, when you're throwing high kicks and things like that, definitely takes some confidence. And he's swinging kind of wild. It's over. It's over. This is exactly what I thought was gonna. It's over. Like I was saying, it is what it is. Tafa's just gonna do what he does. He's big. He's confident. He's powerful, which comes from that Polynesian culture where it's just power in your hands. That it looks like you're dropping bombs. Again, Austin Lane had long legs, long arms, very tall, 6'6". But that it doesn't mean much when you're getting in there with somebody who's got power like Justin Tafa. Heavyweights, the fights aren't going to last a long time, So look, he hit him, but he doesn't have the power. He doesn't know how to throw a punch. That's how you throw a punch. Justin Tafa, he threw a punch, dropped him, and then from there, he was able to land a couple ground and pound shots and finish the fight. That's what's going to happen when you deal with somebody who's got a bunch of power. Doesn't matter their size, who just got a bunch of power and they're ready to finish a fight, which is what he did. That left just was so powerful. And you see, he kind of took a second to kind of assess what he was about to do. That left came from the depths of hell. And then he decided to finish him. There you go. Justin Tafa with the dub, man. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen, man. And you see it. Look, as he's getting up, he's trying to gain his, but yeah, he was wobbled, finished, man. The ref saved him a lot of hurt and pain right now. Justin Tafa, I'm ready for somebody to go in the cage and do the haka. Just be in the cage and do a haka and get a good finish. So let's hear what's happening. Justin Tafa, man. Let's see what DC got to say to Justin Tafa. Hey, get him that bonus. He deserves it. The way with that finish, he deserves it. There you go. Justin Tafa, he's very green. He's got some work to do when it comes to building his striking and everything, and his MMA fighting in general. But when it comes to dealing with these Polynesian professional MMA fighters, again, one they touch you and it's lights out, and that's just kind of the situation they're in, which is what we just saw. I mean, he hit him hard as hell. Don't get it twisted. That was a hard ass shot. I'm not saying that it was a soft, but all they got to do is touch you because they're so powerful. But he hit him with so much power that he dropped him literally super easily, and so that's kind of the situation that led to that. So we got two quick fights. So we got two finishes in the first two fights of the main card. This might be a quick one. We might see all finishes. Hopefully, I'm not jinxing it. We might see all finishes on this fight card, especially when again you got these Polynesian guys ready to throw down. We're gonna see a bunch of finishes. We're gonna see a bunch of finishes. So I'm here for it. All right. For some of you that don't know, but maybe you're tuning in and you know my mom. She's currently in the hospital. Got into a pretty serious car accident. So hopefully you're keeping her in your prayers. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. If you are just tuning in, we just had two fights for the UFC. Justin Tafa just got the W, and Tyson Pedro just got the W, both with finishes. Guys, these Polynesians with hands of stone. Oh, I love what they're talking about right now. Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. Sorry about that. So UFC 294 in October. Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira. That's going to be a great fight. I'm so excited for that fight. I cannot tell you how excited I am for that fight. I love Islam Makhachev. I love Charles Oliveira, and they are going to put on a fight that is one for the ages, man. I cannot wait. Uh, what I may be able to do is see if I'm going to check. Oh, look, on that card, we got Paulo Costa versus Hamzat Chimaev. Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker, and Nasruddin Imavov versus Ikram Aliskerov. All of those fights are sick. So Paulo Costa was supposed to fight Aliskerov, but then they ended up changing the card and changing things up, and he is going to end up fighting Hamzat Chimaev. For those of you who don't know who Hamzat Chimaev is, he is undefeated in the UFC. Has fought at welterweight, 170 pounds or 77 kg, and he's fought at middleweight or 84.9 or 85 kilograms. Both of these guys are, him and Paulo Costa are fantastic fighters, top of their divisions, and potentially going to be fighting for championships. And I'm with that. I'm excited. For some of you, you might know I am also a member of VI Viral. I don't know if you guys know what VI Viral is. Me and my cousin Hakeem, uh, we were talking about MMA. We're talking about boxing. We're talking about uh, combat sports. Talking about pugilism, if you will. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. If you can't hear me, please let me know. I might even have to check myself because I definitely just turned my mic off. Hopefully, you can hear me. Let me double check. That will happen sometimes. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Yep, just had to double check and make sure the stream is still going. Make sure you guys can still hear me. Make sure my stream is doing what it needs to do. If you are tuning in, welcome. This is UFC 293, Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. It is your boy S. Bell MMA. I am here tuning into the stream just now. S. Bell MMA. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If it's one of you, if it's 100,000 of you, it does not matter to me because I love watching MMA and I love sharing it with you guys. Again, I'm not sharing the stream. That's okay. If you want to support the channel, I will share some ways to support. You can support via Cash App, S.Bell MMA, or you can support via PayPal, Sadani061 at yahoo.com. These are a couple ways for you to support it. Welcome to the S.Bell MMA Fight Companion. I am giving my commentary on these MMA fights. Sometimes the commentators miss things. Sometimes they aren't fully engaged, and that's just how it is sometimes. All right, so we've got somebody making their UFC debut, Felipe Dos Santos, which is super duper exciting, right? He gets his opportunity on short notice, and sometimes that's the opportunity that you get. You don't get a fight camp, you don't get to prepare, you don't get a bunch of preparation fights. Sometimes you just kind of go in there and you fight to get your opportunity to be in the UFC, and that's how it is sometimes. I have experienced this. Two of my first fights were super short notice, 5 hours and 2 days notice, and you win some, you lose some, and that's okay, right? So Felipe Dos Santos is now in a position where he gets to showcase what he can do in the MMA. Hopefully, you guys can still hear me. I'm just doing a little maintenance, but we are here watching UFC 293, Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. We are on the third fight of the card. The card is actually moving like gangbusters because folks are finishing people. We have Tyson Pedro and Justin Tafa both getting finishes in this bout. On this fight card. And this is what these guys do. This is what they're paid to do. And this is looking like a night of bonuses. Again, if you're just tuning in, it's your boy S.Bell MMA. That's me right there. That's me right here. Welcome. If you want to support the channel, again, Cash App, S.Bell MMA, or PayPal, Sadani061 at yahoo.com. We got Felipe Pena about the fight, making his UFC debut, short notice fight. But this looks like a guy who is ready for the moment. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see what he can do, man. Got a little drinky drink right here, Taylorport, smoking a little hookah. And I'm watching the fight just like I would if I like anybody else. I'm here to enjoy it. So you have Manel Cape, who is doing this walkout right now. Manel Cape versus Felipe Dos Santos. This is a huge opportunity. Again, to make your UFC debut and then be fighting number 10 in your division is a massive opportunity. Because what happens is you win that fight, you become number 10. you become the guy that's in the top 10, and then next thing you know, a couple more fights and you're fighting for the title. So Felipe has a very, very real opportunity to make waves fighting Manel Cape. And Manel Cape is again no joke. So he can make things happen right now. I'm kind of excited to see if he can make things happen. So we got Manel Cape versus Felipe Dos Santos. Again, a guy who's debuting in the flyweight division. For those of you who don't know what flyweight is 125 pounds, which I believe off the top of my head, I do not know. Let's look that up. 125 pounds kg. 56.7 or 57 kg. 56.7 kg. For those of you that don't know, that is what's happening up Cape. 126. And Bruce Buffer is about to make his call. Felipe Dos Santos. Welcome to anybody who's just joining the stream. We got Manel Cape versus Felipe Dos Santos. Flyweight bout, 126 or 125 pounds with 56.699, 56.7 kilograms. Manel Cape is a superstar in the division, ranked number 10. We had a guy who was making his UFC debut about to fight him. And if this guy does the right things and finishes his Cape or wins this bout, he gets the opportunity to be in the top 10 of one of the toughest divisions in the UFC. I'm excited to see what he can do, man. Guys who are 125 can fight. That's all I'm going to say. We're about to watch a fight that's going to get started very, very quickly. Mel Cape is in his face. He doesn't believe that this guy can stand with him, which is why he's very confident. But Dos Santos looks very long. He's got very long legs, very skinny guy looking guy. Manel is got a very stocky build. And Dos Santos is throwing some flashy kicks. Oh, he just threw a knee. But Cape is coming back with shots. And these guys are usually with guys that are 125 pounds, anybody under 135 pounds, usually aren't throwing heavy power shots. But these guys look like they're throwing their shots with a lot of power. Oh, he dropped them. But Dos Santos looks okay. And he's a Brazilian guy, so I'm sure his jiu-jitsu can definitely withstand any ground and pound that Cape can throw at him, which is why he was able to get out that situation. And now he knows he's got to keep his hands up. And these guys are very willing to throw with each other. With guys that are at 125, usually they're not throwing shots like this. This is actually a very exciting fight. Like, you might see this in a championship bout at this weight, but to have guys that are an unranked versus a ranked guy in this situation, this is a whole different situation. These guys look like they're ready to knock each other out. Hey, look, I'm here for the shenanigans. For some of you, you're just tuning into the stream. This is your boy S.L MMA. We are doing a UFC 293 fight companion. We are not streaming the fight. That's illegal. if you are watching the fight and you don't want to listen to the commentators, listen to your boy talk about what's going on in the fights. These guys are trading, and their willingness to trade is a good trait. And that was a nice little body kick, but Felipe was able to kind of catch it, get the takedown, and now he's in a position where he's in that bottom position. And I'm gonna say what Felipe's doing right now, what Cape is doing. Sorry, Manel, in that position on the ground is not great. But these guys look like they're ready to knock each other out. So I don't know that this fight is gonna go the entire 3 rounds. We might see all finishes tonight because everybody is trying to make it an exciting fight. He's got a very long jab. Dos Santos has got a really, really long jab, and he just landed a knee right in Cape's face. So these are all things you got to be weary of. And in these situations, you just got to be willing to trade, right? It might be a tit for tat situation, and then whoever lands, and we get a finish. And you to go 3 minutes of the fight and then have 24 to 18 significant strikes, you know that these guys are really trying to land on each other, and they're both willing to trade, which means the other doesn't believe in the other person's power when it comes to landing strikes. And again, Cape's a veteran in the 125-pound division, the flyweight division, but Dos Santos is ready to be in there. He's ready for the moment. That confidence is such an important thing too. When you have a guy who is just getting that crazy kind of spinning back elbow, and he tries to trade it back with him too. That's gonna happen as well. Oh man, these guys, I don't think they want this fight to go 3 rounds. And for Dos Santos, I can understand because he's taking this fight super short notice. In that situation, what you might want to do is just finish the fight as quickly as possible. He's in a grappling position, just slipped. But the sooner you can end this fight, the sooner you can get more opportunities, especially because, again, he took this fight on super short notice. So Dos Santos has everything to gain, and Cape has everything to lose, especially with that number 10 ranking in the flyweight division, which means a lot, right? What I would like to see in the second round, and I'll say this, because they're trading some shots, and they're both very, very wild and throwing looping shots. Those are cleaner shots Dos Santos throwing right now. But when you're throwing those looping shots, you're kind of hoping for a knockout. But what I would like to see from Dos Santos in the second round is more cleaner, direct shots like he did later in the rounds, and then those lead to takedowns. Because if he can get Cape to the ground again, I think he will be able to finish this fight. I think he's the better grappler, which is why this is kind of his moment. Let's kind of see what the corner's saying. They were both willing to trade shots with each other, which says a lot. There's a lack of respect for each other, but I feel like there should be more respect. And I think in the second round, we're going to see both guys be a little more tentative because they see that the other one can damage the person with the shots that they throw. Again, Manel Cape is a top 10 flyweight. Flyweight's one of the toughest divisions in May. Anything from 145 pounds down, so 70 kg down, these guys are some of the best athletes in terms of striking, grappling in the world because they're so small, so lean, and so their conditioning is something that definitely plays a massive role in it as well. Oh, that shot landed kind of heavy. Cape's got that nice left kick, and because he's a southpaw, that left kick I think is gonna serve him well if he keeps throwing it. And again, Dos Santos is walking him down. Dos Santos is confident to walk him down with all of these shots. This is a nice little teep. I think he needs to throw those leg kicks with more intention, like he just did that one. That was a nice shot that he threw. And he's willing to crowd the space and keep Cape against the cage. And now Cape did a good job of getting back in space. And when you see that those guys touching hands like they are right now, kind of gauging the distance, they know they're in range to hit each other, which is why they're able to trade shots. That was a great leg kick from Cape, which is why he was able to kind of sweep the leg under from Dos Santos. And you can't be doing the same thing and then do what he just did in that situation, which was almost fall down himself. But he's got to keep using that leg kick strategically. Oh, that was a nice shot from Cape. This is a situation where we're going to find out what Dos Santos' conditioning looks like, because Cape is ready for this situation, especially on this stage where you got a packed arena on a pay-per-view card for the UFC. This is the biggest moment you could ever have right now. And right now, I think Dos Santos is doing a good job of taking full advantage. These guys are trading shots, and I think that they're both, again, willing to make it happen. Again, if you're just joining us, this is UFC 293. Manel Cape versus Felipe Dos Santos. Just took this fight short notice. If you guys don't know much about it, you can watch UFC Embedded, and it gives you kind of a rundown. There are usually 6 UFC Embeddeds each week. We have a pay-per-view card, which gives a background on all the fighters. And these guys are willing to trade. They're going that real back and forth. And I don't think you want to go 1-for-1 with Manel Cape, which is what Felipe is trying to do right now. And I think this is where Manel Cape's experience is going to start to show, which is why he can get in that space and kind of dip out of those shots and still land his own. And that was a good left hook that he just threw. And he switches. And now you see him starting to pick it up a little bit, actually. But Dos Santos is doing a good job with the feints and, again, measuring his range. But he's got super long arms, so he's kind of always in range. So he has the opportunity to land way more strikes. But, of course, he has to be wary of Cape's experience and his skill set, which is what's happening right now. And he just dropped them, and he's doing a great job. And you see how fast these guys are. So you got guys at this 57, 56.99 stage that are, again, so accurate and so fast. And this is such an exciting fight. I think what Dos Santos is going to have to do is take him down, because if he's just going to continue to trade with Manel Cape, he's gonna get finished, or he's going to lose this fight, because Cape's got that experience. And of course, sometimes your ego is going to tell you that you have to just go back and forth with this guy that you're fighting with. But I don't think you should be doing that. And he's pulling the Conor McGregor hands behind the back situation, which, again, is kind of a mind game situation. But I think in this situation, it works very, very well. I would definitely give that round to Manel Cape. So we're going to see what that third round looks like, and then we're going to decide who's winning this fight. This is a great fight. These guys are ready to trade back and forth. That's how it should be when it comes to a bout like this, especially when you got a guy who's, again, getting his debut on short notice, willing to fill the spot. You're going to see what you can do to a guy in that top end of the division. But again, Cape, look how many shots he's landing, and he's willing to throw. He has full confidence in his striking, and he's landing a lot of those shots. And again, Dos Santos is landing shots too, but not as many as Cape, especially in that round. Not as many as Cape. This is about to be an exciting round. If you're seeing some of my sheets of smoke, it's okay. I'm still here, smoking hookah, sipping a little bit, and watching these MMA fights for UFC 293. Again, this is UFC 293 Fight Campaign. If you want to support the channel, you can do Cash App, S.Bell MMA, or PayPal, Sadani061 at yahoo.com. I think this round is going to decide who wins this fight. Because again, these guys are willing to trade with each other. I think Dos Santos has to take Cape down if he's going to really win this fight, but he's willing to fight at distance, and I think that's going to be his downfall. But this is a great fight for him. It doesn't do a lot to drop his stock, especially when you're just getting signed to the UFC. He's going to be in that kind of top 15 position because he is holding his own against a top 10 flyweight, which is no small feat. When you have a flyweight who is in the top 10, you have one of the best fighters in the world. In any other division, this guy would probably be top 5 or champion. And I think Dos Santos has to commend himself, but of course, the win would do much more for him. And again, he has to use his length, but I think he's not as confident as using how long his arms are when it comes to striking with these guys, because I think if he could kind of stay at range, he would give any and everybody a problem. But he's fighting too close. That shot, that right landed, but again, Cape is willing to land back as well. I think his hope is to knock out Cape because he feels like he's losing both of those first 2 rounds. He's landing shots, and Cape is landing too. And I think Cape has the power advantage. I think that's what we've seen from this fight the entire time, is that Cape has the power advantage. And every time he lands, it looks like a thud. Whereas when Dos Santos lands, it's like kind of a chip where it's landing and it's working. And even if it doesn't land, Cape has to be mindful of it. But I think if Cape lands maybe 3 or 4 clean, strong shots, he's going to drop him and finish him. Like he dropped him again there. Cape is he's getting really confident now. He feels like he's winning this fight, which is, I think he is as well. So it's up to Dos Santos right now to try to finish this fight with a knockout or something like that. But Badel Cape is just all up in his face. He's staying out of range, but he's still in his space, which is a unique skill. Yeah, it looks like Cape has this pending a complete annihilation in the next minute and a half. I mean, Felipe Dos Santos is doing his thing, though. Again, this doesn't hurt his stock as a debut fighter in the UFC. To be able to stand toe to toe with a top 10 guy in that division right now shows people that he's a very skilled fighter, and I think he's very skilled, but he's of experience. Also, wouldn't be opposed to seeing him at 135. Maybe getting or letting your body fill out a little bit is going to be an easier situation. And he is all up in Cape's face. He is not trying to give him any space to recover. He wants to tire him out. And he's throwing those capoeira kicks, Melo Jicampasso, for those of you that know what capoeira is. But Dos Santos is, oh, damn, man. Every time Cape lands, again, it's such a powerful shot. So it's negating anything that Dos Santos is doing. Shit. Up, and he lands a takedown. And I think that helps solidify it for Manel Cape. Again, we got 7 seconds. I think this is an opportunity for me to use the back. Guys, listen to the decision. Manel Kate. So we got Manel Kate with the dub on that one. Went to decision. Didn't expect that. Let's see what DC's got to talk about when it comes to Manel Kate. That was a great fight, especially with a guy, again, super short notice. That's a win on both ends. I love that. They're sharing a moment right now, which is a beautiful thing. Let's see what Manel's got to say. All right, guys, I'm back. We got Bam Bam Tuivasa. Sorry about that. We got Bam Bam Tuivasa about to fight. This is going to be again a fight I don't think goes the entire way. Bam Bam versus Volkov, I think is going to be a finish on either end. I think Bam Bam's got it. He's the man. He's got heavy, heavy hands, and he's very, very willing to knock a mofo out. All right. So if you guys are just joining the stream, again, this is your boy S. Bell MMA. That's me right there. That's me right here. If you want to support the channel, you can support via Cash App. Cash App is S.Bell MMA or Sadani061 at yahoo.com via PayPal. So those are the two ways to support us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, I'm chilling out, hanging out. I got my hookah, got my drink, and I'm giving my opinion when it comes to these fights. So I'm giving you my professional MMA opinion. The commentators don't always give their perspective, but when the fights are finishing the way they do right now, it's not as important, which I love. It's great because we get definitive answers for who was the better fighter. The guy that won the fight because he finished them. That's where we're at right now. But we are going to continue having a lot of fun tonight. So if you're joining the stream, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your boy S.Bell MMA. Sadani. You can follow me on Instagram at S.Bell, SDOTBLL. You can follow me on other platforms. If you look up Sadani or S.Bell, you can find me any and everywhere. We are about to watch Tai Tuivasa versus Alexander Volkov. I'm about to get some pizza for that one. So for those of you that can hear me, I'm still here. Your boy is still streaming. It's your boy S.Bell MMA. We got some really, really, really good fights coming up. All right, we are back. It's your boy S.Bell MMA. We got the co-main event coming up. We got Bam Bam Tuivasa about to do his thing against Alexander Volkov. I think this is a fight that definitely helps shape the landscape of the heavyweight division. When you got John Jones as a heavyweight champion, it sends a very clear message that you have to be above and beyond to be at the top of the heavyweight division. But we got guys that are definitely in the mix. In the mix. That's the best way I could describe it. Volkov is at the top of the world. He's a fantastic fighter. He's massive. And then you got Bam Bam Tuivasa, or Tai Tuivasa, for those of you who might know him. Loves drinking beer out of a shoe, especially when someone spits in it. Gross, but the man can fight. And definitely got my eats. Eating some pizza right now. Volkov looks ready to fight, man. Hey, like I mentioned, this stream is going to be very casual, kind of showing off what I can do. But we got the co-main event coming up. Alexander Volkov versus Tai Tuivasa, and Volkov looks ready. He looks in mode. He looks like somebody who's ready to do some damage. They talk about his keys to victory. But when it comes to guys at this size, a heavyweight, sometimes the key to victory is just landing or getting the person to the ground. Bam, bam. Right. So we've got a fantastic co-main event. We got 30 years old, 6'2", 265.5 pounds, 75 in reach for Tai Tuivasa. 34 years old, 6'7", 263, 8-inch reach for Alexander Volkov. This is giant versus giant, both very similar weight, and I'm very excited for this fight. Let's listen to what Bruce has to say. For those of you that know about rocking, Drago, Ivan Drago. Listen, if you ever get Bruce Buffer to do an intro for you, you will never forget that. The first time, the last time, and every time in between. Bruce is the man. And Herb Dean is doing this co-main. I wonder who's doing the main event. I am excited for this fight. Again, I don't think this fight is going to go an entire 3 rounds. It's not possible. These both these guys have dynamite in their hands. I know Ty is willing to just throw, and so is Volkov. Volkov looks very comfortable out there. Ty is trying to get in range to deal with Volkov's height and his arm length. Volkov's doing a good job of throwing those leg kicks. Bam's doing his thing. He's closing the distance. I mean, which is what he's got to do. And he's feinting. He's learned some tricks, throwing body shots. He understands that it can't just throw heavy head shots, especially with somebody at this size. Great job. So that last shot was a low blow. Again, when you have guys that are very tall, this is going to happen. When it comes to dealing with somebody who is more or less normal height for fighters of this size. And I think both of them are doing a great job. Volkov is definitely, but Bam, I think he's gaining confidence because he's feeling the power of Volkov and he's not scared of the shots that he's taken so far. So he's willing to now engage a little bit more. But I think Volkov is doing a fantastic job of keeping the range when it comes to dealing with this, a fighter of Ty's power and stature. Oh, great job of dropping him. Using that, his grappling is going to be a very, very good tool. Volkov's got better grappling than Tai Tuivasa by far. But again, I think this is a fight that is going to stay on the ground. Stay standing. And it's not going to go to the ground. We're not going to have to worry about that. Folks, bear with me. It looks like my stream is having a little bit of issue. Once I get it running again, I will be back with you. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a knockout at the end of it. And one thing I can definitely say is, having watched a lot of Ty's Tuivasa's fights, he's definitely progressed as a fighter in terms of his patience, in terms of testing distance and range. He's doing everything he needs to do to show that he is skilled at what he does. I mean, I'm surprised that these guys are just as tentative as they are, especially when you have guys as skilled as these two who are as powerful as these two. You expect them to just kind of duke it out, but they're trying to be more technical, which I can respect. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Again, these guys are very willing to trade, going back and forth. I think if the longer the fight goes, the more Volkov has an advantage. But if Bam again can close the distance and start to land more shots, he can do what he needs to do to win this fight. Again, Bam is trying to finish this fight because he doesn't want it to go the full 3 rounds. It's the best way I could describe it. Oh, but damn, right at the end of the round, Volkov is landing some clean shots, but Bam Bam was able to survive, and that's what you got to do, survive, especially with guys this size. Surviving the shots is going to mean everything in terms of winning the bout. These guys survived. I'm sure the corners are giving some fantastic advice, but at the end of the day, they're not the ones inside the cage, you know? And that, a lot of times, is what matters the most. I'm sure some of you can hear that there's a little bit of a delay for me, but it's the start of the second round. Neither here nor there. We make things happen when it comes to this fight companion for UFC 293. Again, if you're just joining us, it's your boy S. Bell MMA. A lot of people are waiting just for the very last fight. Some people just want to watch Strickland versus Adesanya. Some people want to watch the entire main card. All of that is okay. It's your boy S. Bell MMA. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to support the channel, again, you can cash app at SDOTBLL MMA, or you can hit us up at Sedani061 at yahoo.com to support the stream. Helps make this a lot easier for me to do this on a regular basis. I would like to be able to do this for every UFC, PFL, Bellator fight event so that I can give you guys my perspective. If you like it, if you don't like it, and you love watching commentators do all of that, then do that too. It's neither here nor there, but we are here having the stream. A lot of love to anybody who joined the stream before. We had Andrea who kind of popped in. Got to thank her for joining. Missed that in the beginning. Yes, I think Ty is going to be the one. If Ty closes the distance, he can win. But Alexander's doing a great job of keeping him at bay, which is what you got to be able to do. Volk, yes, I agree. Vet, thank you for joining the stream. I agree. Volkov does look tired when you have somebody that is that size. But I mean, he's in a position right now where look, it looks like he's going to be able to finish him, right? Volkov looks tired, but he got him to the ground, and this is where Tai Tuivasa is the weakest, right? So this is the instance or the end game where Ty's going to get finished because Volkov got him to the ground. Not to say that Volkov is a great grappler, but he's a much better grappler than Tai Tuivasa. And this is the situation where all it takes is a little bit of groundwork, and then he can finish the fight. If Ty can survive, and it looks like he's trying to do everything he can to do that, I think a lot of MMA fighters don't do a great job of learning what is necessary to survive being on the bottom, which is why fights get ended. If they got better at that, then they'd be in a position where they could survive. Because right now, Ty looks like he's just barely able to survive, but he's about to get finished. That's the position that he's in right now. He's about to get finished because he's not surviving the way he should be in this situation. Get better at jiu-jitsu. That's the all I could say in a situation like this. Volkov is in mount, does a lot in terms of points. He's getting a lot of landed shots. This is what a 10-8 round looks like, especially if you get somebody down halfway through. Up, looks like he's trying to land an Ezekiel choke. If Bam can survive this, then he'll make it out. But this fight might end in the next 30 seconds or 20 seconds, and just like that, it's over. For those of you that exactly like jiu-jitsu is the great equalizer, especially when it comes to guys of this size. When you have somebody like Alexander Volkov, who's 6'7", he's got super long arms, super heavy. I mean, and you have to be heavy when you're this tall, that strong, to be able to get the mount position and then lock in that Ezekiel choke. Because again, we know Bam for his power, but no jiu-jitsu. And then an Ezekiel choke gets locked in and it's over just like that. Respect to Bam for trying to fight through all of it, but Alexander Volkov did what he was supposed to do, came in there, showed that he's still one of the top guys in the division, and finished Bam Tuivasa. I mean, it is what it is. There you go, boys. We see what it looks like, right? Being a well-rounded MMA fighter is such an important skill. That's why right now John Jones is at the top of the division. You think Alexander Volkov can do that to John Jones? I don't think so. So let's look at So we got Alexander Volkov getting that W. It's a big deal. Sets the landscape for the heavyweight division. Again, John Jones is at the top of that division. Cyril Gane just won against Spivak. We got Bam Bam losing to Volkov. Volkov is right in the mix. Does Volkov fight Gane? Does Volkov fight John Jones? And again, this is John Jones after he fights Stipe Miocic, which is the next fight that he's got coming up. This is great. Looks like we're having a little bit of trouble with the stream. No big deal. But again, Alexander Volkov just beat Tai Tuivasa. We watched as a couple other Polynesian, Australian, New Zealand based fighters got massive wins, but it doesn't always work out for these guys. Again, you're fighting a guy who's 6'7" and is massive for the division. When you're 6'5" and above, 6'4" and above, let's include John Jones in that. He's 6'4", 6'5" and above. That height, that length does wonders for you when it comes to dealing with fighters in the division. But where are we at right now? Now we got Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. I want to see what you guys have decided. Who is winning versus Izzy versus Strickland? I think Israel Adesanya's got it. I don't think Sean Strickland has anything for Israel Adesanya, but we're gonna find out. This is what this is about. We are gonna find out who is the better fighter. We know who we think the better fighter is, but these are the situations where you legitimately find out and we figure it out. And I'm all for it. So let's see what's happening with this fight coming up. The main event is here. The co-main delivered. We got a finish out of it. I told you it wasn't going to go the entire fight. Didn't think it was going to the entire fight. I thought Bam Bam was going to be able to close the distance. He wasn't able to. Of course, Israel is going to start showing his fancy kicks and his skill set. For a lot of you that don't know, I lived in China. I was an MMA fighter. He lived in China. He's an MMA fighter. Showed a myriad, a massive amount of success. My path has not been the same. I will have my opportunity at MMA. And when I do get my opportunity, we'll see where I land when it comes to the all-time greats. But now we got Sean Strickland. It's his moment, and he's fighting Israel Adesanya. And I'm very, very excited to see what's about to happen. So let's figure it out. So it looks like the stream is acting up a little bit, guys. I'm not going to leave you high and dry. We got Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya. I want you guys to tell me what your picks are. If you can see me right here, right now, I'm getting myself comfortable because I want to be able to watch the main event and not have to get up, just like you guys. So we got Sean Strickland, who is a big mouth American white boy, and we have Israel Adesanya, who is a big mouth New Zealander who lived in Asia, China, and who is also Nigerian. about to showcase who is the better middleweight. For those of you who don't know what middleweight is 185 pounds or 85 kg. At one point, I fought at middleweight. If you see me now, I am struggling to make heavyweight. That's how big I am right now. But it comes with my skill set. I'm big, I'm strong, and I'm able and willing to fight. Well, not necessarily able. I do have a partially torn Achilles, so I shouldn't say things like that. But when I'm 100% healthy, that will be a part of it. But we got Sean Strickland, who very, very much has an opportunity to win at middleweight. What Vet just shared, yes, Alex Pereira showed what it takes to be able to beat Sean Strickland, a clean left hook. He's very beatable, but sometimes MMA math doesn't always add up. We're in an MMA math situation. So Vet just gave a great comment. Pereira showed him the secret. So if Izzy knows what's good for him, he will follow in Pereira's footsteps and land a clean left hook and finish Sean Strickland. Izzy has the power to finish him. We saw Izzy finish Alex Pereira, who has now moved up to 205 pounds. He will, and in all likelihood, move back down to 185. But for the time being, he may hang out at 205. He's a big guy. I understand too. As somebody who has made 185, who has made 205, sometimes it's not so easy making that weight. Not so easy staying at shit. Sometimes it's easier to move up to a heavier weight division, which is what Alex Pereira did. But doesn't matter. Now we're in a situation where we got the 185ers about to really throw down. Sean Strickland at one point fought at 170, found his place at 185. Oh, Vet, I rock with that. Vet has Izzy by sub. That's an interesting perspective. Very real possibility, something that could happen. Izzy has to find an opportunity to show what it looks like when he grapples. We could see that today. If ever there was an opportunity for him to show that he can grapple, this is the time. Izzy subbing Sean Strickland, choking him out. We've seen some really nice submissions today in UFC 293. Izzy, what do you got, buddy? What are you going to do? Are you going to finish Sean Strickland and then show the MMA world who you are? Sorry about that, guys. That bug's falling out of the sky. So we got Strickland making his walk, headed to. So whoever is watching the stream right now, if you're just joining us, it's UFC 293. We got Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya. Sean Strickland is making his walkout right now. Make your picks. If you think that Sean Strickland is going to win this, we got Vet who showed up on the stream. He believes that Izzy is going to win by sub. That is, as some would say, a hot take. I fuck with it. I rock with that. If there was ever a time to have a hot take, this is the time. The fight's about to go down. So let's see what's about to happen. Sean looks focused. He looks ready to fight. He looks like he's about to do some damage to Izzy. I think this is going to be a fight that's a lot harder for Izzy than people think. For those of you that are, again, just joining, I got my sippy sip. Got a little bit of hookah. It's your boy Estabel MMA. That's me. That's me. We are watching UFC 293. Hopefully you have pay-per-view. If you're in another country, you have the proper channel to watch the fight. Not sharing any streams just for fair use or anything like that. We got Sean Strickland, who just made his walk to the octagon. Izzy's about to be in there. Let's see what that looks like. Izzy always likes to do exciting walkouts. Let's see if he does something that really shows that he's ready and willing to be in this situation. I don't believe that Strickland's a black belt. I think sometimes the term jiu-jitsu black belt is thrown around way too easily. I'm still a purple belt, and I think there are a lot of black belts that I could beat. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I'm just saying because how are you trained as a blue, purple, brown, and then black belt? And in this situation, I don't think Sean Strickland shows anything that makes him a truly formidable black belt when it comes to dealing with fighters that fight professionally. Now, him as against other regular guys, of course, he's definitely super high level, but he is to black belt what Israel Adesanya is to purple belt. That's the best way I can describe it. And I know for some they might think of it as hate, but I'm just calling them like I see it. Got a slice of pizza. I'm here watching the fights, having fun, just like you guys, but offering my commentary and showing you guys my expertise as a mixed martial artist. And Izzy looks calm. He looks comfortable. This is what you want to see from a fighter when he's coming in the situation. And of course, Izzy's the only fighter who loves changing up colors when it comes to championship bouts. Usually it's black and gold. He's done blue and gold. I'm sorry, green and gold. John Jones did blue and gold. Now he's got the red. All for it. He looks excited and ready. Izzy just wants to get to it. He's not wasting any time. Usually we got Izzy. He likes to do longer walkouts. He likes to show off, but Izzy's ready to fight. I think this fight's going to be as quick as his walkout. Again, Vet had Izzy by sub. Don't think that's going to happen, but this is going to be a fun fight to watch, man. A lot of fun to watch. Let's listen in. I love hearing how John and DC talk about really good champions or the cash cows of the UFC. You're right, Vet. Okay, Vet pointed something out that's awesome. Check that out. Izzy brought the city back. He's got that man boob popping off. So keep that in mind. I don't think Sean looks scared, actually. Vet. I don't think Sean looks that scared. I think he's ready, but to us, it might look like fear. Mark Goddard, love him for this fight. I think he's going to do a great job of reffing. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got, boys. Tarzan. I like that. He is kind of a wild forest boy, jungle boy. I'm so excited for this fight. Let's see what happens, man. We got Izzy, we got Sean Strickland. Let's see how this first round pops off. We are underway. Sean's very fidgety. Izzy has similar movement, but it's very different in terms of his length. He stays long, he stays out because he wants to keep you at range. Sean, he wants to box with you. He wants to close the distance. And Izzy wants to throw those kicks. And I think Sean's willing to deal with that until he's able to close the distance. And we know Izzy from his willingness to move out of range and to move side to side. We've seen that with Alex Pereira and other fights of his. We know that he could switch southpaw and orthodox. And again, he throws a lot of feints, and you have to be willing to walk through those feints if you want to get in range. We've seen that from Kevin Gastelum fighting him. And I think that's the game plan that Sean Strickland has. But we know how to beat Strickland because we've seen Pereira do it. Very easy to knock this guy out. If you're willing to throw those hooks, land on that chin, send him home. But Izzy's working his game plan. And again, Sean is trying to fight in that range. And that's what you have to do if you're going to beat Israel Adesanya. You have to be willing to close the distance. But Izzy does such a good job of working his side-to-side angles, throwing feints and throwing shots, and make you kind of weary when you want to close the distance, which is a situation that Sean Strickland's in. Great jab from Izzy. This is another thing that Strickland can do, which is take Izzy to the ground. We've seen Izzy in ground situations very, very few times. And I think if he fought somebody who was like a true grappler, somebody who could really send him in deep waters on the ground, we find out who Izzy really is as a fighter. Again, Sean's got to really be willing to close that distance. He can't be in range when it comes to being in the center of the octagon. He's got to close Izzy against that cage. This is Izzy's space spot being open like that, where he is now. He's got to push Izzy back a little bit more. Izzy does, again, a great job of moving side to side, but close the distance, clinch him up a little bit, dirty box. That's what's going to make this a real fight where Sean has a real chance to win. Also, never noticed how big his ears were. And he likes using the Philly shell, which is interesting. Izzy's doing a little bit of peekaboo, letting Sean get in space. It looks like Izzy's getting more and more comfortable with folks being in that crowded boxing space. He's dealt with that with Kelvin Gastelum. He's dealt with that with Alex Pereira, and we've seen how he's done in both of those situations. And I don't think that Sean Strickland is any better than those guys when it comes to dealing with that. Again, Izzy's just moving side to side, waiting, right? How many shots is Izzy really throwing right now? We haven't seen it from him. He's willing to wait it out and say, look, you got to crowd my space. I'm the champ. You got to beat me. And that's what he's doing right now. Now he's starting to throw a little bit more kicks. Ooh, Sean dropped him. Oh, Sean dropped him. Oh, he's blocking. He's blocking. He's he's still there. Yo, if that was the end of the fight, man, is he still there? Is he still there? Man, oh man, Ashevitz, man. Whoa, he made it out that round. Look, that could have been ugly. Israel Adesanya barely made it out of that round after Sean Strickland caught him, dropped him, and almost finished him. But hey, that's what the fight game is all about. Caught him super clean with that right, dropped him, and he was rushing. I feel like if Sean took his time, he could have finished him. He caught him so clean. And I say this a lot, but Israel Adesanya leaves himself so open so often. This is not an occurrence that's rare. You have this happen when you see him finish Paulo Costa, when you see him finish Robert Whittaker. He's so open all the time. Strickland saw that opening and he capitalized. He can finish Israel Adesanya. Now we know it's not just a fluke in this situation. Izzy's got to pay attention now. He's going to try to start throwing more and be more aggressive. When Izzy lost a round, he then becomes the attacker. He stops being a counter striker and he becomes the attacker. He lost that round, and now he's going to be in a position where he feels like he has to get it back. We're seeing that Sean Strickland belongs here in this championship bout. That's what we're seeing right now. Again, Izzy has to be aggressive now because he feels like he lost that round, which I think he did. Because he could have got finished. He survived, but he could have got finished. And Sean is, again, he's just Philly shell boxing with them. He's not doing anything super special. To me, this has always been the way to beat Israel Adesanya. And of course, everybody's going to talk, you can't do that. He's showing that if you crowd his space, Izzy has problems. That's exactly what Sean Strickland is showing. You know, Sean has a Thai boxing stance with like a boxer's hand situation because he understands that kicks are going to come, but he keeps his hands tight in a Philly shell situation, which means he's more of a boxer. But true boxers don't keep their feet that close together, right? If you're a boxer, usually your feet are going to be more open, so you have more free movement for boxing. But in an MMA situation, he's got a boxer's upper stance, hands position with that Philly shell with kind of a Muay Thai foot placement. And Sean's walking Izzy down, man. Walking Izzy down. And I think these are the opportunities now that Izzy should be taking to clip Sean. When he's willing to just stand in front of you, he doesn't believe in the shots that you're giving him. So he's willing to walk you down and be in your space when you're supposed to be the dangerous one. And when people stop believing in your dangerousness, you become more tentative, which is what's happening with Izzy right now. Izzy's not willing to do, like, Sean's right in his range and Izzy's not throwing. He's throwing those kind of tentative kicks, still trying to do that side to side. But now what Izzy has to do is Izzy has to be willing to throw, right? Sean's in your space now. Now he's full on in your range and he's walking you down. And you see Sean's becoming more confident, which is why his hands are opening up. Doesn't have that Philly shell anymore. He's gaining confidence. And now he's throwing that jab. He's walking Izzy down because he's like, I'm not afraid of what Izzy can do to me, right? This is where that MMA math situation starts to come in. You see, even the kicks that Sean is throwing, Izzy then decided to throw a real punch in that situation, but Sean doesn't have the confidence in those shots. So Sean is gaining his own confidence and is willing to walk Izzy down. He's doing essentially a mix between what Alex Pereira and what Kelvin Gastelum did. But if he threw a little bit more, it would match Gastelum. But right now, he's okay just being in Izzy's face, which to me has always been the way to beat Israel Adesanya. Just be in the space, crowd it. When he can't throw kicks, Izzy's not some great boxer. Again, every position he's been in to knock somebody's out, it's been at that kickboxing range. And he throws that overhand so obvious, it's very easy to dodge. He never throws it straight down the pipe. It always comes over when he's throwing it. And again, look, Sean's in that range. Sean's willing to box with him. Sean has the confidence to box with Izzy right now. And Izzy's not showing anything that's saying that him boxing with him is going to do anything. I'm giving Sean that round. So it's 2-0. Izzy lost the first round. And to me, he lost that second round because Sean is willing to walk him down. I know it's a beat the champ situation for commentators, but Sean Strickland has looked fantastic in these 2 rounds. Sean has looked amazing. Let's see if Izzy can recover because Sean looks chipper. He looks energetic. He looks fresh. And that can be dejecting for somebody. Welcome, school, bro. Thank you for joining the stream. Right, we got round 3. I'm saying it's 2-0 for Sean Strickland. Izzy, now he's starting to kind of faint a little bit more. I think that Sean Strickland is winning this fight. He almost finished Izzy in the first round. Second round, he's willing to walk him down. Izzy's throwing, but he's throwing because he feels like he's losing. And that says a lot to the judges. Izzy's a counter striker, but when he's willing to throw first, I think he does that when he feels like he's losing. And that's what Sean Strickland is doing right now, is his willingness to walk Izzy down in these situations. See how Izzy's trying to back him up, but Izzy hasn't shown Sean anything to give him pause to back up. He hasn't thrown a heavy kick, question mark kick, which is usually what Izzy does, but it looks like Izzy's running right now. Exactly. You're 100% right, Scoop. He looks like he's panicking because he lost the first 2 rounds. He is not confident right now, and he has to be, which is why he's very jumpy right now. Sean looks like the confident, calm one because, again, this is a situation where Sean has nothing to lose. He has nothing to lose in this situation. And look, he's just kind of walking Izzy down. Izzy's tentative about all of his strikes. He's not throwing how he usually does. He doesn't have the confidence he usually does. That's the Izzy we know. Those couple strikes where he's throwing with attention, throwing that body shot. Now Izzy's backing him up. This is the Izzy that we're used to. Sean's been backing Izzy up for the past 2.5 rounds. So if Izzy then starts to back Sean up, that's a situation where we're going to see Izzy that we're used to. Because the Izzy that we're seeing in the early part of this fight is not the Izzy we know. I mean, he's dodging, he's dipping, but that doesn't mean you're winning the fight. And again, Izzy has to start getting more and more aggressive because I think he's losing right now. Now this is where he starts to throw the kicks and starts to walk down. That's the style of Izzy that we know. Again, to be on your back foot also gasses you out so much more when you're an MMA fighter. Right? And Izzy's been backing up this entire fight, and Sean's getting in his face. He's boxing with him. He doesn't want to kickbox with Izzy. He wants to, which is why he's not throwing a lot of kicks. Yeah, he just tried to throw kind of a teep, but again, he's not in the space, and he's look, he's throwing shots that are landing with Izzy. He's landing shots. He's in a situation where, again, if he can box and get in the clinch and dirty box, he's going to give Izzy a lot of problems, which is what I'm seeing right now. He's giving Izzy a lot of issues. A lot of issues. All right. And Izzy has to start to push more and more, like he's starting to do right now towards the end of the round. Again, throw more shots. He did so a little bit early, but again, Sean looks like the confident one, looks like the one that's landing. Izzy looks like he's just dipping and dodging, but he's not doing anything that really stands him out. And again, towards the end of the round, if you start to do something where somebody gets dropped, that's what's going to win a round like this, where it's this back and forth where, again, Sean was winning because he's walking Izzy down, but he's not clearly landing heavy shots, right? That's kind of the situation we're in. And listen, what we're going to see in the fourth round is Sean's willingness to really start throwing more because Izzy isn't throwing shots. That's what we're going to see. Izzy's not throwing shots. I can start throwing shots. I can finish this fight. I can beat Israel Adesanya. I think that's what we're going to start to see. Right? So we got 3 rounds in the book. Maybe 2-1. I don't even think Izzy won that round. You can't really say Izzy's been backing up again for 2.5 rounds, 3 rounds. We got a situation where Sean Strickland is going to become the middleweight champion of the UFC. And again, he lost to Pereira, who beat Izzy. So we got a lot of drama on the books right now. That's what's happening. We got a lot of drama on the books. All right. So type in the chat box who you guys think is going to win this fight right now, because what we're seeing right now is a Sean Strickland we didn't expect to see. Sean Strickland that's beaten Israel Adesanya. All right, guys, give me 1 second. It looks like my stream has frozen, and this is always the worst situation because this is the time that the fight's going to start, and the next thing I know, come to find out somebody knocked out somebody. I'm sorry to anybody who was watching my stream and I cut off. It looks like I had a little bit of technical difficulty, but I'm back on here. We're at 2:30 of the fourth round. And again, Sean Strickland is chasing down Israel Adesanya, and he's throwing shots. Looks like Izzy's playing a little bit of possum, but I haven't seen anything from Israel Adesanya that says he's going to win this fight right now. Izzy's got to do something, man. Knock him out, because if we're judging this fight off of rounds, I don't think Israel Adesanya wins this fight, man. Sean Strickland has been walking him down the entire time. He's been confident. This is a situation where if Sean gets overconfident, Izzy can capitalize. But right now, Sean's looked really, really good in this fight, man. Again, crowding Izzy's space in boxing position and just giving him a headache. That's what Strickland's been doing, and that's what you're supposed to do with a kickboxer like Israel Adesanya, who everyone treats like he's so unbeatable, which he is not, and which we are finding out right now. Please don't tell me the stream is about to freeze again. Let's figure out what's happening right now. All right, there we go. We're back in business. All right, we're at 1 minute and 5 seconds. Sean is still walking Izzy down. Izzy hasn't really landed much. I maybe missed about 30 to 40 seconds of this round, but from what I've seen, Israel is not doing anything that's really showing that he's going to win this fight, right? Oh, Sean's willingness to just walk him down is what's going to be the deciding factor for this fight. I'm telling you guys, this is how you beat Israel Adesanya. This is how you beat him, and Sean Strickland's doing it. I've been telling people this for ages. I've been telling folk this for ages. And what Sean Sugar's doing is he's crowding Izzy's space, and Izzy has to go left and right and left and right. But Izzy doesn't look like Izzy right now. He has to now finish Strickland in this last round. And the Adesanya was beat up. We were saying what look. His cardio looks good. He's willing to walk him down. He looks like he's fresh. He looks like he's walking into the second round right now. Sean Strickland is about to be the UFC middleweight champion, unless Israel Adesanya decides to finish him. This is the time that we find out how great Izzy is, or if Sean Strickland is the guy to beat him. This simple style where you just walk him down and crowd a space, which I've been talking about for a long time and nobody wanted to listen to me, but just walk in this guy's space and you get him out of kickboxing range, he disappears. I'm more than willing to wait for an opportunity for him to just pull up and knock this guy out. That's what I would like to see, because kicks right now aren't going to do much unless he kicks him in the head and finishes him. Right? Look, that side to side is all well and good if you can just create the range, but he's got a swollen face because he's been getting finished. And look, Sean is awkward and a little fidgety. But to me, he's got a face where he's up there in your range saying, punch me in the face, which is what you should be doing to this man. Not fainting, hit him. Sean Strickland also has a style where if you just punch this guy in the face, he's going to drop, because that's what Alex Pereira did. But now we're seeing that Israel Adesanya is getting exposed, and it looks like he's going to be done. And it looks like he's going to be out for the count. Right? Everybody who loves Izzy, this is how you beat him. You crowd a space. I've told people this, and everybody talks about how unbeatable Izzy is. And then when he lost to Pereira, oh, it was a fluke. And look, we had a guy who's literally just going full-on Terminator. He is full-on Terminator with Israel Adesanya right now. And this is the time where now Izzy's got to say, I'm going to cut all this shit off and finish him. This is the time to do it. This is where he writes his story, where he writes his legend. Because if he doesn't, Sean Strickland is the new champion for the UFC. Sorry, Scoob. I'm just catching some of your messages. Scoob, I just seen your message. No, Izzy is not a good grappler. He is by no stretch of the imagination a good grappler. If it came down to grappling, Strickland would win that exchange as well. Again, he's been walked down this entire fight. Looks beat up, lacking confidence. Unless he can clip Sean Strickland in this round, he's losing this fight. Sean Strickland is the new middleweight champion. That's what I'm seeing. And again, right, we might find that it's a different situation because, again, commentators are feeling one thing, the judges are seeing another. But I'm telling you from my perspective, because I've judged MMA fights, I've judged for one championship. When you judge for one championship, you judge a fight as a whole. But in the UFC, obviously, it's similar to boxing where it's a 10-9 must system, and you're judging fights round by round. But when you see fights, you can kind of understand who's winning and who's not winning. But what it looks like is that Sean Strickland is about to be the new UFC champion. Unless Israel Adesanya in the next 45 seconds is going to knock him out, we are seeing a new champion crowned, because that's what we're finding is that all you got to do is crowd a space and walk him down. And Sean Strickland is not an exceptionally talented guy. He's got great conditioning and he's willing to engage. And if that's all it takes to beat your champion, is that really the guy? Is that really the guy? Because he hasn't done anything. It's Israel Adesanya has now lost the middleweight championship. Sean Strickland's a threat. Sean Strickland's a threat. Sean Strickland is the new middleweight champion. Israel Adesanya has now lost the middleweight championship for the second time to Sean Strickland, who was defeated by Alex Pereira, who won the championship. We have a new champion. We have a new champion. Look, I got about 70, 75 pounds to lose. I'm telling you, in my best condition, I could beat Sean Strickland. In my best condition, I could beat Sean Strickland. But Sean Strickland is willing to exchange, willing to walk through, and Israel Adesanya was unwilling to engage. And he lost. And it's Sean Strickland right now. He's the new champion. Nobody thought this was going to happen. No one thought this was going to happen. Boom. He dropped Izzy. He did it on some fucking. He literally beat Israel Adesanya with the most simple strategy: walk forward, 1-2, jab cross, walk forward. What other than jab cross, walk forward did Sean Strickland do? Nobody thought this was going to happen. I'm very mad. I'm mad more at Israel Adesanya because, of course, it's not that he was overconfident. He just underestimated Sean Strickland. He very much underestimated him because he didn't think that Strickland was going to be in his space. Let's listen in. Congratulations. I knew, I knew, I knew, I knew, I knew. I love it. I love it. If it was ever going to happen, that's how it has to happen. If it was ever going to happen, that's how it has to happen. Everybody's Izzy's such a technical striker. Oh, he's so skilled, and you beat him by walking him down with the 1-2. I've been saying this for 5 years, and one person did it and beat him. He didn't even have to take him down. I'm furious. Israel Adesanya got beat with a 1-2 and got walked down. Respect to look, somebody had to do it. I'm furious because I know it could have been me at some point. Injuries and excuses and all that. Congratulations to Sean Strickland. All the tears he's having right now is all well deserved, man. Sean Strickland is the world champion at middleweight, 13th undisputed. Congratulations. Watch this man lose the title of the next fight. But hey, he won it today. He won it today. Driscus Duplessis, Robert Whitaker, Jared the Cannonier. We have guys that will win this championship. Alex might come down. Respect to Izzy, man. He's been a fantastic champion. He's got his place. He didn't lose in the fashion of Anderson versus um, Weidman. Sorry, I'm drawing blank on names. Chris Weidman, who's now at the end of his career. Look, all of Australia and New Zealand was behind Sean Strickland, and now he won the fight. Wow, man. Jab cross. It's not if something looks stupid but works, it's not stupid, I guess. That's what look, it's not that it's stupid, it's that no one was willing to engage with Israel Adesanya. No one was willing to engage. No one was willing to engage with Israel Adesanya because they were so afraid of his striking because of what happened to Robert Whitaker, because of what happened to Paulo Costa, because of what happened to Derek Brunson. But no one did what Sean Strickland did, which was stand in front of this man and walk him down. Two ways to beat Israel Adesanya. You stand in front of him, you walk him down, knock him out. Alex Pereira. You stand in front of him, walk him down, you wear him out. Sean Strickland. Sorry, three ways. You stand in front of him, walk him down, and you take him to the ground and you beat his ass. Sean Strickland did exactly what you need to do to beat a guy like Israel Adesanya. Wrestling, not great. Grappling, not great. His boxing, not great. And now we have a new middleweight champion. Sean Strickland, his girl cleans up nice, by the way. Been watching Embedded, seeing his lady, cap, sweats on, but she cleans up very nicely. Sean Strickland is the middleweight champion of the world. Let's talk about it. Who won money? Sean Strickland went through a lot. Look, he deserves it. Congratulations to Sean Strickland for winning the UFC middleweight championship, beating Israel Adesanya 49-46. All three judges' scorecards very clearly. All the tears are well deserved. All the celebration is well deserved. No one thought this was going to happen. No one thought it was going to happen. Sean Strickland is a workhorse. Good old American boy, white American situation. Look, Sean Strickland is the new middleweight champion of the UFC. He's going to lose. All right, look, guys, been sending messages. I wasn't even looking at the chat. I'm sorry. This shit over. What do we got here? I'm sorry, but I always say boxers over MMA. This was a display of that from a not so talented Strickland. Scoob, I'm giving you some credit for what you're saying, not end all be all. But look, who's on UFC 5? Israel Adesanya, the no longer champion, UFC 5. Neither here nor there. Listen, any well-rounded MMA fighter is going to be in a position to destroy a boxer. So don't let this fool you. This will give overconfidence to boxers. But the reason why Sean Strickland was willing to walk through and have that Philly shell is because he can wrestle. That's something you have to keep in mind. He can wrestle. All right? Look, Scoop Devil, look, we got the reactions. Look, beat him with a Philly shell, right? Vet. Come on, man. Everybody talks about how good is he. I listen. You know it, Vet. Text Evie and ask him how I said you could beat Israel Adesanya. right? You need to walk him down and grapple or dirty box or box with this guy. I've been saying this for 5 years. I've been saying this. And Sean Strickland did it. It's my own fault. Like, I got Achilles tear. I'm out of shape. I'm a little lazy. It could have been me. Bro, Israel Adesanya, as good as he is, beatable. And I've said this for years. I'm upset right now because Sean Strickland did it. Izzy was on the back foot the whole time. Izzy was on the back foot the entire time. A boxer beating a kick. There you go. But there has to be nuance. A boxer who can wrestle. Sean Strickland can wrestle. Not a great wrestler, a decent wrestler, manageable, good enough to cause problems for a guy like Israel Adesanya. A wrestler, a boxer who can wrestle beat Israel Adesanya. Didn't have to wrestle, but a boxer who can wrestle beat Israel Adesanya. That's the situation. What we got? I'm shocked. This wasn't lopsided. Man, it should have been you. Now I'm more. Yo, thank you. Listen, Scoop. I can tell you right now, I could walk into Sean Strickland's gym right now, and I haven't been training regularly. I'm a better grappler than Sean Strickland is. Right now, maybe I'm not as good of a boxer. My boxing's nothing to play with. I have a better jab than he does. I think my Philly shell is better. Maybe his overall boxing is better than mine, but I think I have a better jab. What he just did is not to be undersold, it's to be commended because he's a workhorse. The man has a work ethic that is not to be undersold. He beat this man with a work ethic and a willingness to get hit. He was willing to get punched in the face and said, I'm going to walk through every shot that you're willing to throw at me, which Israel Adesanya never threw, and said, I'm going to be the new champion. Look, guys, thank you guys. Anybody who tuned into the stream, thank you guys. We got Shevchenko versus Grasso coming up. Sorry, Grasso, who's the champion, versus Shevchenko coming up. I think I'm going to do another stream on that one. This will be a kind of a weekly, bi-weekly, or whenever the best MMA streams are coming up. Thank you to everyone who tuned into the stream. Again, I got to send a couple banners. If you want to support the stream, Cash App, S.Bell MMA. Just send me a little $1, $2, $5, $1,000, whatever. Or you get via PayPal, Sedani061@yahoo.com. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. This is the first of many. I've kind of figured out the sound system. I've figured out the situation. I want to be able to do this on a weekly basis. I'll also be coming back with more videos. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Israel Adesanya is no longer the middleweight champion. I'm probably going to do a video on this on Monday. Thank you guys for watching the stream. It's your boy S.Bell MMA, and I'm out. I'm out, man. I'm out.